Hi everyone and welcome to episode 096 of the WA Running Podcast, recording on Monday the 10th of November 2025. In this week's episode, we recap the Revo Fitness Freo Running Festival down at Marine Terrace over the weekend, along with local races that included the Feral Pig Ultra. We cover the Grampians Peaks Trail Miler with a couple of Perthians making the trek over. We have our usual Simon Says and our usual Weapons of Warp. Across my screen is someone who I would say is probably has the strongest gooch in WA, riding 71Ks on a shitbox fixie that included being the 10K lead bike for the women's 10K race over at Freo, keeping Rebecca Bolster company. Christopher Shaw, how are you, mate?
I'm good. The gooch is strong. The ITV is not, but I guess we'll get to that in our training weeks. It was good fun out there yesterday doing that. I was really wary of trying not to pace Beck, so trying to stay just far enough ahead, but also maintain contact so I could provide some words of encouragement and just kind of get the crowd involved. It was good.
Very good, very good. We'll recap Freo Running Festival a bit later in the episode. Across the other side of my screen is someone who I would call a marathon major weasel. He informed me maybe half an hour ago that he was part of the Tour de Tash run team, a relay from Bunbury to Perth 7-8 years ago. And yesterday he claimed that if weight adjusted pace was a thing, he would absolutely smash me in a 5K race. Zane Walsh, welcome to the WA Running Podcast.
Hey mate, how you doing? I actually jumped on ChatGPT just to get those calculations through.
Yep.
Apparently, I can do sub 14 with weight adjustment. Apparently, so make of AI what you want, but somehow I'll lose 20 kilos and I'll see you in LA.
Yeah, very good. Watch out, Smithy. And then across the other side of my screen is, look, I don't have any bad words to say about her. She's Tina's best athlete by far. Ashleigh Yee, welcome back to the WA Running Podcast.
Thanks for having me back. I wouldn't say best athlete at all, but thanks for the shout out.
Not a problem. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Obviously, we all took part at Freo Running Festival, so we'll get into the lowdown of how that all went later in this episode. But maybe we'll start with you, Ash. Last time we spoke, I think we were recapping Boston Marathon, and you were starting your training block to Sydney Marathon, where you ran a very impressive 3 hour and 3 minutes. How was the training block and how was the experience for you?
Much better than my first one. As I said, I think in the previous episode, I had a lot of trauma from my Sydney 2023 experience where I almost passed out, but redeemed myself from that, came away with a PB, very, very happy. Couldn't have asked for anything more. I think it just went exactly how I wanted it to, and I felt good the whole way, which is rare, and I just went with it. So very, very happy with that one.
You did a lot of hills during this training block, and I think as a follow-on from a lot of hills during the Boston build, do you love hills?
No. Still no. I climbed more this time than in Boston block, I think.
Yep.
I was climbing Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. So it's a lot of hills. My legs were really sore, but in the end it paid off. But I wasn't prepared for the downhills. I think I was just going up all the time. But then my quads after Sydney, I think the whole Team Tina found the same thing. All our quads were cooked for 4 days. So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. So would you do Sydney again now that you've done it the second time around and you obviously had a very good experience?
I'd say no. I've had one good one and one terrible. I actually did have the candidacy for the next year and I declined it. Tina said, don't touch it. You've had a good one there. Just leave it and move on to the next one.
So the next one is Tokyo. You've raved on about how you got a Tokyo entry for next year. What's the game plan heading to Tokyo? Surely it's sub 3.
Well, in my head, it's sub 3. Does Tina know this yet? No. But she might talk me out of it. I would love to go sub 3, and I feel like if it is, it would be Tokyo because of the weather. And we know after being with me on Sunday and all the Saturday sessions, the amount I sweat is next level. I think probably you and Zane combined is what I am. Maybe even more with my health condition now, but
you never know. You never know. I mean, talk to us about post Sydney, and how has training been? And obviously, I've been running with you quite frequently for a while now, so I know you've been struggling. But how has training been since Sydney?
Well, after Sydney, I was fine for like about 2 weeks after, and then I got quite sick. Probably 3 weeks post Sydney. I just didn't know what it was at the time. I thought, how after marathons you just don't feel great. I was like, it's probably that. I'm just a bit tired. I've done 2 marathons, done a lot of running, so I probably just need a break. And then it kind of got worse, which is bad to say, but then my heart rate my resting went up to 95.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't know if this is right. Like, I feel shit pretty much, but this is next level. And then my sleep started getting worse and worse. I was sleeping maybe 1 to 3 hours. I was like, is this what kids is like? When you have kids, you sleep like 1 to 3. It's like, I can't do this. I was like, I really can't do this anymore. So I probably had about 2 weeks of that. And I was like to my dad, I was like, nah, something's wrong. Like, my heart rate shouldn't be 100 and I'm sitting still. That's just not normal for me. He was like, your iron's fine. He was like, I'll write you a blood test form. He's a doctor, by the way. He's not just randomly writing me forms.
A witch doctor.
I went and got a blood test. And I found out I have a genetic autoimmune disease, which just randomly got triggered, I think, post-Sydney with stress. And then, I've got a lot of other things going on that just triggered this. So it kind of forced me to slow down a lot after Sydney, which was good and it was needed, but running was pretty much non-existent. I had a plan. Did I follow any of it? No. I couldn't really jog more than 30 minutes without my heart rate going above 210. So it was just I was not having fun. I was hating every run, which was really weird because I had the best block and I love running, and I was like ready because I was going to do Melbourne after as well. So I was like, have a break, get straight back into it, use 3 weeks to see what I can do out of Melbourne, and then I'm done. But then with all my health stuff, it just didn't really settle. Melbourne had to pull out, which was really upsetting. I didn't DNF. I did a DNS. So my first DNS, I don't know if it's worse than a DNF. I was having this conversation with the boys in Melbourne. I was like, what's worse, a DNS, a DNF? And all of them were like, they all are just bad. I was like, well, pretty much, yeah. But so that was quite upsetting. But I'm on the mend after about a month of medication. Things started settling down. So I was like, let's give Freo a good crack and see what I can do with 1 week of proper training. So
you did okay.
I did better than I thought I would, given that I hadn't run faster than a 4:30 pace in 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been interesting if you did Gabby's sweat test a month ago, because some of the sweat that was coming out of this 5-foot person was incredible.
On that Saturday, do you remember? I was like, Simon, this is so bad.
Horrible.
My condition doubled my sweat rate. Like, I don't need double. I'm already double the normal amount. This was next level.
All right. I mean, so you're on the mend, and you ran pretty well yesterday. So are you hopeful? Heading into Tokyo, because when's Tokyo? Like 1st of March, right?
Yeah. So 1st of March. I am hopeful. My heart rate's pretty much back to normal now. Yeah. My medication has been 6 weeks now of medication. I'm sleeping again, so I feel like I'm coming back. And then after yesterday, even though it wasn't the best run of my life, it's way better than I thought I had in me, and I didn't max at 210 with my heart, so I was quite happy. So I think inside I'm like still panicking a bit. Tina's like, relax, chill, you'll be fine. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe sub 3 isn't possible. But she's like, nah, just see what happens. I'll train for it, go for it. Doesn't work well, I'll try again. You know?
Well, you'll be training through the hottest months of the year, and then you'll be racing in possibly the coldest months of the year over in Japan. So, yeah, if ever there was a block to get right, this is probably the one. You know, you got everything going for you.
Just come join me at lunch runs at 45 degrees.
Absolutely not. I'll be running at 4 a.m. I think my long runs.
Well, moving on to you, Zane. Obviously we're in the month of November, so Movember is in full swing. Tell us about, I guess, how you got involved into Movember and why is Movember so important to you?
I don't know. It was kind of a funny story because obviously a lot of people who do Movember are all sort of touched by either losing someone or having one of the the various staticulous cancer or suicide touch their life. Mine was actually being laughed at by an ex-girlfriend. So 2010, I floated the idea of doing Movember and being told that I would look fucking stupid. So I didn't do it. Went on 12 months later, we sort of broke up in the September, and then 6 weeks later, Movember's come, and I went, well, I'm jumping at this. So really, that's kind of my backstory. Don't tell me that I can't do something because
I'll break up with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And do it.
And do it anyway. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of my sort of little foray into Movember, and then it's probably I'm not going to say snowballed. It's probably more like avalanche since then. I've been 15 years now. I think what have I done here? In the first year, I raised like $1,600, which is still a reasonable amount of money for a lot of people. But yeah, I think I've just gone over $81,000 in fundraising directly since over those 15 years. So it's got pretty crazy. And it probably really got me back into running, to be fair. I really didn't run a lot sort of through my 20s. I was probably like your standard, not really Ash, because, she's crazy and all people who are in their 20s now just run every day of the week. Well, sorry, I run every day of the week, but they get addicted to it. So, probably similar to Chris and you, Simon, where during our 20s, it was probably a lot more of a second thought. Probably too much drinking, too much eating, and we don't really think about that. And I do city surf, could walk around the office for a week after, because I thought after 12 months of not running, I could go run 12K up a hill.
Yeah.
Not that there's a lot of hills compared to maybe this weekend. But yeah, so I did that, had a good year, 12, and then 13. I think during over those years, I was probably where I was running a few half marathons, and then decided to, I was like, I'm not getting any quicker, so, just go longer. So that's kind of where I got into my marathon running. Decided that I would sign up for New York because that was the only marathon that I ever wanted to do. Didn't get in, and then got in. And then that year I actually received an email from Movember, basically inviting me to join the team for Movember Athletics over in New York. It was helpful that I was already in. So I got sort of connected with that, made some good friends through Movember over there. And then, the year after that, it's probably where it really became crazy. I was at the Perth launch. They have a launch every year. I think you guys might have seen it, that, they had it at the Universal Bar this year. So they had it at some little dodgy bar in Northbridge. And I got talking to a guy called Richard, I'm going to get his name wrong, Hallam, something like that. Dicko, I call him. That's probably why I can't get his name right. And Kieran Ryan as well. So he was an ambassador who worked at Movember, and then they were part of the Tashed Up Bogans. So they invited me along to I think it was their second year. So that they were quite big. Like they would raise 20 grand as a team. And it all sort of culminated around a half marathon. So, and funnily enough, as I was saying to Simon earlier, that's where I met Dan through Movember. So yeah, the very first year I was, didn't know anyone, rocked up. It was the park just south of where Team Tina has her Saturday runs in Scarborough. Lined up there, we went off at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It was 43 degrees, right? And so luckily I'd run a couple of halves before, so I kind of knew like, if it gets hot, calm it down. And I was like the last person. I think within 6K there was a girl that collapsed by one of the water station. We had to go from basically all the way down to Freo, down to South Beach. One guy ended up in hospital on a drip for 3 days. He was found at the Shell service station down in Freo. They only knew it was us because we had like similar singlets on. So yeah, I got a really good relationship through those guys. Obviously 2018, and funnily enough, it was 7 years ago today. Me and Hayden, we decided to join the team, which was a run from Bunbury up to Perth. Probably very not wise to still be out drinking at 12 o'clock when we needed to start running at 4:15. But me and Hayden did need to get those 4X Gold baggy greens that we really wanted if we had enough beers. So yeah, that was great. I mean, it was such a good experience. It was about 11 of us. I think we all sat off we did 2K together, and then we just took sort of random, goes at 2Ks. I think most of us averaged about 4-minute pace for those 2Ks. Dan obviously a lot quicker. Obviously needed to flex and show off how good he was.
Yeah. Is that because you can't grow a mo?
Possibly, yeah. It was very, very gingery.
It's too light, yeah. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. But it was great. I mean, I think it took us, about 13 hours to run the 180 Ks. So, we're pretty pumping. Then from there, it's just been, I think one year we cycled from Wedge or Ledge Point down to the city as well as a group. I'd never ridden more than 30 Ks. So actually, I borrowed Hayden's brother's sort of cleats because I only ever went sand shoes. And he's like, what's 130 Ks worth of cycling? I remember getting to Yanship going, oh, well, Perth's not too far away. But yeah, it's
fucking far.
It's a long way. It's a really long way. So, it's kind of just been all of that. And, just every year, just sort of growing. Last year me and Hayden did the, 60 laps of the mustache that he designed, to represent the 60 men that die every hour around the world from, the various causes that Movember does fundraising for. So, probably summing it up, it's not really, for me, it's not about what I've experienced. Yes, I've had, friends that die. I think I said to you, Simon and Ash, that yesterday that it was 10 years since, a good friend of mine, Tony, died of pancreatic cancer. It's not really a cause that Movember fundraisers for, but it's probably the question about how men really need to look after themselves, strike the conversations. Probably getting a bit of goosebumps here, but yeah, I mean, pancreatic cancer is just one of those things. There's not much you can really do. It's got a very low survival rate over 5 years, and it was great to sort of catch up with, friends that I played rugby with over, 10, 12 years ago, just, chatting about things. There's a couple of people who aren't very well, been through different life experiences. So for me, Movember's more about what I'm going to, probably lead into. I'm mid-40s, and at the end of the day, these things that they're fundraising for, particularly with the pancreatic cancer, not pancreatic cancer, the testicular cancer, and all those type of things, of how it will affect us all. Me sooner than, well, hopefully not soon, but being older, how it'll affect us somehow, and whether it's me or whether it's friends, you guys, people I work with, family members, you want to have that out there for the research and the bits and pieces that they're going to do to help you, live longer, because men die younger, and we shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, kudos to you for being able to fundraise and be involved with Movember for such a long time. 15 years and continuing, and that continues for you next week when you embark on Point to Pinnacle, which world's toughest half marathon. I just looked it up, 1,271 meters of elevation, where you're just going up a fucking hill for 21 Ks.
There's a car park at the 9 or the 10K, so we have
a bit of a breather.
30 meters, I think. However big a car park, I mean, Chris probably designs car parks and can tell me how wide a commercial car park needs to be, but that's about all the respite we get.
So, I mean, obviously, Point to Pinnacle has been involved with Movember probably for the last couple of years, but
That's longer than that, actually.
Longer than that, yeah.
18 years. It's been the major partner for 10. Basically, it's Movember's spiritual race.
Right.
Even if Kerry Bickmore does want to steal it off us.
So obviously doing Point to Pinnacle was an obvious choice for you this year, but I guess lead up to Point to Pinnacle, what sort of training have you done for Point to Pinnacle?
I've done 2 runs. A couple of weeks ago, I decided that I would, all you guys run Kings Park, so I was like, I'm going to go do 21 Ks through Kings Park, and without really mapping it out, I was like up, down, around. So I think I got 260 meters of elevation. So that probably gets me the first 5 Ks. And then obviously Team Tina's legendary, how can we describe Kevin? Party animal. Got us out to Gidgee. Now, Kev was obviously partying the night before, so he didn't join us. So we did what I think is actually a Team Tina run, to be fair. We went from the bakery down and then out through Reserve Road, up, down, which, was pretty hard, I have to admit. 21 Ks out with, there was an up and a down and then an up and a down, and then obviously turn around and go back and do it. So I got me a full 460.
Yep.
So
almost halfway.
I'm pretty much enough elevation to get me to the car park. So the general outline of the elevation is from ground. So there's 2 events. There's Point to Pub, which is 10 Ks, and then Point to Pinnacle, which is obviously from the pub, 11 Ks up. So Point to Pub is 400 meters of elevation. And then the last 11 Ks is about 850 meters of elevation.
Jesus.
So I'm currently lacking about 850 meters worth of elevation. So if I could get some in my legs in the next 3 days, that would be rather helpful. I'm not sure I'm going to get that running around Maylands during my lunch runs.
So there's a pub where the car park is?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The Fern Gully pub. I did look that up the other day. So on days on events, sometimes if it's too cold or there's snow up on the peak, which has happened before, they do basically the reverse. So it goes pub to the start and then start back up to the pub to get the 21 Ks, which is still apparently pretty hard.
You'd beat your quads up on that first half, and then you'd have to go back up. It wouldn't be very nice.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried. I mean, I heard from Dee, and she was telling me that she almost stalled her car driving up. So, yeah, watch this space.
There's probably a good chance you'll DNF anyway, because I'm going to assume once you get to the pub, you'll have a beer, and then you might
stop.
Not.
I hope so.
Yeah.
There better be someone. No, I'm trying to get under 2 hours.
That's fast, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not really.
Yeah. There's a cap apparently if you're sub 2, but it's from gun time. So even though you might net time under 2 hours, it's all to do with your gun. So I've got to be close enough to the start to get that. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Haydo.
Yeah.
Well,
I
think
I want to watch the space with Haydo. He'll make it up.
one way or another.
One way or another. Yeah.
Well, I guess for what you lack in hills, mate, you make up for in heat training, and I don't think I know anybody else in Perth who does just about 95% of their runs in the peak heat of summer, running lunchtimes, 1 o'clock through Maylands. Whether it's 25 degrees or 45 degrees, you're out there doing your easy runs and your sessions. How fucked are you?
It's pretty fucked, really. I mean, at the end of the day, there's days where I've, because you're meant to be breathing in, relatively cool air. These are like fire.
Yeah,
it's like doing.
It's like smoking.
Pretty much vaping these days. Vaping.
True. Yeah.
Or hanging with Simon's friends around the corner from work.
Let's not go there. All right. Well, best of luck to you, mate. So when do you fly to Tassie?
We're on the 9 o'clock flight on Friday morning. So just a quick 2-day trip over.
Yeah.
As I said, can't leave the daughter in the car too long at the airport. Casino maybe would be all right, but not the airport. You get judged.
Yep. Sounds good. All the best for you, mate, and all the best to Haydo, who, might have to do welfare checks Sunday afternoon.
Yep. Shannon to worry about messaging him, does he?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, we'll move on to you, Chris. How's your training week been?
I mean, for the most part, it's been quite good. Had a reasonably smooth week. I ran twice, had the gym once, and 4 bike rides. As you mentioned on the top, rode 71 Ks yesterday on the shitbox, so I'm pretty happy with that. Legs felt pretty good afterwards. So I managed about 9.5 hours of exercise during the week, which I would like to be doing as running, but unfortunately that's not the case, and just have to, after a small short session this morning, probably aggravated it a little bit. I just need to probably dial it back and just keep it to easy runs for a little while, and just keep going on the bike. So it's all a learning process for me, because having not been kind of out of action properly for 2 or 3 years, it's difficult to kind of hold back a little bit. So I've just got to make sure I take my time and enjoy other parts of life, like I said I was doing last week's episode, but inevitably you get carried away at some point.
Fair enough. Are you targeting, was it the Founders Cup potentially mid-December as a potential comeback if all things go well?
No, I don't think so. I think that was always intended as like a run with Henry. So If it's not a 5K or a 10K and it's just a random distance, I'm not interested.
Great.
Because there's no glory in a 4K PB.
Isn't there that race that's near your house, the 3K championships?
Yeah, look, last year was different. I had a different mindset last year. I thought I'd go and beat some children in a 3K race in Applecross, but yeah, I have
Times
signed
have
up for that
changed.
race again. But I think I think that'll be a Henry run for sure.
Sounds good, mate. Well, as last man standing, training's been all right. I'm enjoying the lack of volume. Actually, I'm enjoying these 60, 70K weeks where the long run is 65 minutes. So, really enjoying that. I signed up to the 800 meters this afternoon, and they had asked me to put in a seed time. So I put in 2 minutes 30. And that's, I think, 3-minute 7 pace, I think. Okay. I messaged Tina that going, what do you reckon? 2:30? And she doesn't seem too convinced. So I don't know.
She thinks it's too quick or too slow?
She's like, maybe. And she then says,
supreme confidence builder, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, but 2-minute 40 is like 3:20 pace. And that was it. So,
calling me slow.
Yeah, I think she's calling me slow.
Yeah, obviously thought you run yesterday.
Anyway, I've submitted 2:30. So we'll see how I go in, I think it's 18 days. So, I've got the training block for the next 4 weeks. It's kind of similar with the exception that Thursday, instead of going to Gallup, I'll be heading to Green Mile and Bold Park. So, it's a bit of hills. Been doing a bit of strength and conditioning. So, I'm kind of Shane Johnstone's wet dream at the moment.
Yeah, right. So I did see a screenshot of your plan for the next few weeks.
Yep.
And it does mention that you need to do drills and strides before your 800 meters. Is that going to happen?
It's drills and strides. Can you enlighten me what drills and strides? Basically, what you do on a Thursday morning, right?
Yeah, I was wondering if Tina would give you like an educational video or something to watch with that.
I'll show you on Tuesday, Simon.
Okay, done. Very good. Yep. So whatever drills and strides are, Ash and I are going to we're going to go to the track, I think next Tuesday, right? So we'll get the spikes out and give it a test run before the Friday night debut, and hopefully I don't projectile vomit on the final bend of an 800, and don't vomit on children is the game plan.
Well, the fortunate thing for most Athletics West events is that there probably won't be anyone there watching, mate, so no one will see it.
True. I don't know. It seems like some of the Team Tina guys are keen on showing up, so I feel like the crowd will double on Friday the 28th of November.
Yeah, maybe the greater podcast listenership will turn up too.
Yeah, true. Very good. All right, well, let's get straight into results. We'll start with the pig race, that is the Feral Pig Ultra. That was on Saturday, the 8th of November. Take us away, Chris.
So, this very big pig race runs along the big track between North Bannister and Kalamunda, all finishing at the Perth Hills Discovery Centre at Mundaring Weir. Now, there's multiple distances here. We've got the 23K pork chop, 721 metres of elevation gain, which started on Sunday at 8 a.m. Zach Thomas took out the men's race in 2 hours and 6 seconds, followed by Reed Troop in 2:01, and then Alan Biletich in 2:04. Pippa Anderson won the women's race in 2:39.21, followed by Lana King in 2:40 and Grace Lamont in 2:45. The 50K is called the sow. Is a sow like a female pig? Is that what that means?
Don't know.
A sow.
What do you reckon?
A sow is a pig, a female pig that's had at least one litter.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Encyclopedia.
You can blame another podcast for my knowledge of that.
Yeah, very good. All right, well, good to know. 1,446 metres for your 50 kilometres there. So we had our Lord and Saviour Brett from Perrine taking out the men's race in 4:55.20, followed by Sean Hall in 4:56, and then Malachi Kerwin in 5:34, coming in third. The women's was won by Alara Hanjakowski in 6:12:13. I apologise, Alira, if I have mispronounced your name there, but that's Hannah
that's right.
Paget's mate from Bunbury. So congratulations, Hannah, too. Isabel Trail took out second in 6:26, followed by Christine Oosh. Here we go. Oosh.
It's Dutch. Why do you reckon it's Dutch, right?
Oosthuizen in 7:09. I've absolutely butchered that one too. Apologies, Christine. The 50-mile boar race was 2,625 meters of gain. So, that's 80 kilometers. Decent. That's a shit time. Yeah. We had Jack Barnes winning in 10:03, followed by Chris Nucky in 10:13, and then we had Jess King in 10:51. Casey Edlington won the women's in 12 hours 59 minutes. 12 hours and 19 minutes, followed by Jamie Lee Quamby in 13:08, and then Jess Kremp in 14:48. The 100K, the Wild Swine, 31:71. It says 3,171 kilometers of elevation. Well, that would be something. The world's most vertical race. Ben Leeson smashed the course record by over an hour, winning in 10 hours and 35 minutes. That's crazy because that's almost as fast as the 80 or the 50 mile was won in. Andrew Walker came in second in 12 hours 50 minutes, and then Daniel Andrew in 13:36. Victoria Hun won the women's there in 13 hours 17 minutes, also third overall. Dianette Sakova in 15:38 came in second, and then Jamie Stevens came in 16:50. Finally, the showcase race, the 100-miler, the Feral Pig, 4,450 metres of elevation gain. That was started at Saturday at midnight. Ethan Stirrett won that in 20 hours and 8 minutes, followed by Yannick Dalatre in 22 hours 53 minutes, and then Edwin Swine in 23:36. Now, a name that we've read out multiple times on this podcast, Hester Nord won the women's race in 27 hours 34 minutes, followed by Chelsea Topless in 31:32. And I'm not going to fall for it this week, Simon. Karen Hayward in 34:33. So, congratulations, everyone there. I saw a photo that Big Kev posted doing the miler, and it looked like a bad time. So I'm sure it was fantastic. It does look, by all accounts, a great race. I think one of our friends of the show, Michael Edgar, was hoping for something big in the 50-mile race there, but ended up with after going out pretty hot, ended up with a few troubles and crawled his way in. So congratulations to you, Michael, for finishing the race when many of us here on the podcast probably wouldn't have. Now, we also had Fremantle Running Festival this weekend, the showcase of the probably the WAMC calendar and probably the shining example of how to run a running festival. Simon, would you like to tell us all about it?
Yep. So, the Running Festival is sponsored by Revo Fitness, City of Freo, proudly supporting Operation Sunshine WA. Some decent prize money. So, first place in the half gets 1K, second place gets 500, and third place gets 250. We did have Karlos message the pod on a Friday night, just checking the start lists before making a last-minute entry, and you'll see his name pop up in the half marathon. But we'll start with the 5K. Benjamin Turner took out the 5K in 16:21, followed by Chris Gould in 16:23, so very close finish, and Josh Brown in 16:32. In the women's race, that was taken out by Amy Buckingham in 17:22, Kirsty Peterson in 17:43, and Sienna Hanakiri in 18:32. In the 10K, that was taken out by Daniel Russo in 33:58. Second place was Dylan Muzaki in 34:27, and third place is Jack Wills in 34:20, I think. In the women's race, that was taken out by Rebecca Bolster in 35:49, so that's a very rapid time there by Beck. Renee Baker in 38:40, and Anne-Marie Jungling in 39:13. In the half marathon solo, The men's race was taken out by Karlos Aquino in 1 hour 12:14. Coming second, very close, it was Fabien Desonois in 1:12:24, and Lucas Coe coming third in 1:13:41. In the women's race, that was taken out by Neera Jarab in 1 hour 20:29. Astrid Roberts coming second in 1 hour 21:38. And Team Tina's Lisa Tyack coming third in 1 hour 23:33. The hallmark event of the Freo Running Festival, the team relay, the first place was taken out by the Filament Coffee Track Club. That consists of a friend of the show, Colin Desmuke, Adam Brennan, and Scott Sieber in 1 hour 17:13. Coming second was a team of two, Double L, in a time of 1 hour 20:39. And coming third was Mama T's Sweaty Boys and Girl in a time of 1 hour 21:08. Unfortunately, presentations weren't until 9 a.m. and we were hoping for something other than a medal. But I feel like only one of us got a handshake from Dan Bowbridge, and
who got the handshake?
Zane.
I paid a bullet though.
He doesn't like me.
I wasn't hanging around till 9:30 for no handshake.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But the great morning. Conditions were, a little warm, but as expected for an event in November, and the 6:15 start was appreciated. Bit windy, bit of a headwind in sections, and I think because you kind of twist and turn, you kind of get a bit of headwind, a bit of tailwind, and that was quite constant. But
tailwind, I didn't get that.
Oh, you didn't feel fuck all.
I got headwind followed by turnaround headwind.
Sidewind.
Yeah. I mean, how was it for you, Chris, being on the shitbox fixie?
It was heaps of fun, actually. First time doing that, and it was actually difficult. I was worried because riding a fixie, right? You're pedaling all the time. There's no coasting, so I was slightly worried that I'd fucking trip over a curb or something. But no, it was great. It was just hard spotting Beck amongst all the lead pack for the half and the 10K, actually. And then once I'd found her and they kind of separated a bit, it was a bit more comfortable. So, no, it was great. Had heaps of fun. I did appreciate that there was a little bit of wind, and those little signs you wear on the lead bike on the front, they provide a nice sail of resistance to push into the wind with. So that wasn't ideal, but still managed to stay ahead of her, I'm very happy to say. And just good to kind of be off the front and try and, I guess, rev up the crowd a little bit, because there are some quiet sections of the course and outside of the coffee strip and the main drag. So, trying to get people to cheer on Beck, as she was clearly ahead of the rest of the pack by a good chunk. I think she ended up winning by 3 minutes. So, she was rapid and looked very easy for her. She was smiling the whole way. So, not sure what that feels like, but
she looks great from the photos. That's for sure. Smiling throughout. Meanwhile, all of us were in the pain cave.
Yeah, I did have a chat with her after the run, and caught her at the finish line, and she said she was a fan of the podcast. So shout out to you, Beck.
Very good, Beck. Well, I guess we'll talk through our respective legs accordingly. So look, before the race, knowing that we would get the start list, we were sussing out the competition, and very quickly we found out that we weren't going to win the thing with Colin Desmuke's team. But then we used ChatGPT to sort of concoct a race plan, and the aim was to try and get under 80 minutes, ideally under Shaft's time, doing it solo. But I think we were formulating a plan where I would do 340s, I think Zane would do 345s, and Ash would do 4-minute pace, and that would somewhere sort of land us maybe 119, 79 minutes, just a bit over. And then I think in the days leading up to the run, obviously went camping with you, Chris, and I think we were talking about potentially going out with Rebecca Bolster, because she runs, somewhere in the 36s. in the 10K. So if I can hang on to Beck, obviously you'll be on the bike, and maybe some illegal RAF pacing will do me a world of good. The gun goes off, and I try and follow Beck, and fuck, she went quick. She was absolutely zooming. So I think after 500 meters, I just let Beck go very quickly and just went, I'll see you later. First K was, I think, 3:35, so I knew that was a terrible idea. And I find that I hate 10Ks. That's for sure. I haven't raced a 10K in quite some time. I think John Gilmore was the last time I've raced a 10K. Being in the pain cave, and I think mentally being weak after sort of a year's worth of marathon training has meant that, feeling very uncomfortable at that pace kind of costed me some precious seconds, particularly in that sort of 3 to 5K mark. So still managed to maintain somewhat 3:41 pace, I think the average was, before I handed the wristband to Zane, sort of in that shoot. So the first leg was meant to be 10.1 Ks. It was 9.8. And I was having a shit time anyway, so it was fine that I didn't hit the 10K mark, and was very happy to hand the wristband over to Zane. How was your sort of middle part of the race?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I definitely went off way too quick because we had that little hook around. So we obviously, from the shoot up to the turnaround, I think I got way too excited. I think the watch was, bouncing around 3:20, which,
that's my 800 meter time.
I know, right? So I think once I kind of got around there and then sort of past the start line again, and then sort of hooked back up to the old HJs, similar to you, where you haven't raced a 10K, I probably haven't raced a 5K properly in a while. I've done a few 500 meters, but it was good. I mean, similar to you, I did a 3:43 for the first K, so it was actually my quickest. It was probably all downhill from there. Just to gaslight Ash a little, first K heart rate of 125. But don't worry, it all went south after that. I think 340, 346, 347, 348, 350. I did finish with a 344 and with, exploding heart rate for myself in a zone 5 at 150. So I probably don't know what's going on with the heart rate in my running.
Did you run faster when I yelled some encouragement to you?
Oh, that was great. Nothing like being... Well, put it this way, I normally get shouted like that every lunchtime. So, it was good. But, I mean, it was probably that bit out to the last sort of turnaround, which, it did suck a little. I was running down there. I was like, oh, cool. There's the turnaround point. But, it wasn't. It was another 500 meters away. So I've done Frio before, but I think going quick and racing is, something new to me. So it was good fun. I really enjoyed it. I found the team aspect of it good. The racing sucked. But, you live and learn, don't you, at the end of the day? I had the female half behind me, so it was good just to make sure that I kept ahead of her, and her words of encouragement trying to get the crowd to go left was helpful. Yeah. You can see why Perth drivers aren't very good when those people are going right. That was fun. A lot of yelling. It was difficult in parts because I think, unlike Simon, where he was off at the start, I had to deal with all the mid-pace half runners, probably your 145 to sort of 210 runners. So there was, quite a lot of runners there, doing really good running, but it was just pretty crowded. So bit of shouting. I ran into a couple of people because they went the wrong way. But yeah, I came back and then obviously passed over to Ash, who looked pretty excited to do a extended almost 6 kilometer run.
Oh, don't even. It was so when Simon came in and he said it was short, I was like, wow, it looks like someone has to make it up. And then Zane was like, that's you because you're running into the chute. So in my head once Zane passed it, I was like, oh, it's going to be another maybe 200 meters. But I ended up running like 5.97. I was like, I should have just rounded to 6K, which was a bit further than I thought. But lucky for us, I think because we were at the start of the relay. So the changeover I didn't find was actually that chaotic because we could see everyone coming and it was pretty easy to just grab the band and then go. But I was the same with Zane. Like as soon as I went, I was like passing all the back of the half marathon as well. So it was just like pass. And then I think I was lucky as well. Well, we kind of positive split the race having me at the end. But then the lead female, I ended up just tucking behind her, so then she just cleared the entire path, which was made it really easy for me. I just had to follow. Then she dropped me the last K, so then everyone started closing back in, and I was like, okay. So I slowed down a bit there because I had no one clearing the path for me. But other than that, like I had very, very low expectations. I was like, I haven't run faster than a 4:30-ish pace. 4 minute, let's see what happens. And I think I managed like 3:58 overall, which is better than thought. So I'm happy and it was lots of fun. Like I was scared I was going to drop the timing band or like I would accidentally go the wrong way, but it was actually pretty easy and a lot of good support as well from all our friends. So lots of fun.
Yeah, that was good. I think, I'd love to do it again. Like, I don't know, because I think, for a running festival, it's not the fastest course. It's lapped, it's hot. So, I think doing a team relay is fun. We shouldn't promote it because we'd want to win it next year. But
someone caught on to my idea, didn't they?
Yeah. But other than that, no, it's a lot of fun. A lot, everyone shows up in the WA running community. So a great little spectacle there. Good. It was good to see Dan Bowbridge on the mic, doing his thing with Evan on the roaming mic and stuff. I think he told us that he was stuck wearing a women's polo for the event, so he looked pretty cute in his tight women's polo. There, we stayed around to the presentations, and we weren't sure whether or not Lisa did come third because I think we had seen in the results that a Haley person came third, but turns out she made the wrong turn. So do you know when you sort of come out of the cappuccino strip and then you have to turn left to do that little sort of switch back? I think Haley turned right instead and actually finished first, but unfortunately was disqualified. So Lisa awkwardly came third to get the 250. So congrats to Lisa. But yeah, it was nice to see everyone down there. I think was able to talk to Dane Sproxton. I think he did sub 17. So that was really nice. And he was telling me that he's doing Busso 10K. So hopefully a nice quick time from the young gun in Feb. And yeah, the only anecdote that I had was when I started my first leg, and when you sort of cross the train tracks and you sort of head towards Little Creatures, the train, like the fence of the train tracks kind of sort of sticks out in random moments. And there was a guy going out at 3:35 to 3:40 pace with me and clearly wasn't paying attention and literally slammed into the fence at full speed. Hopefully he's okay. I didn't see him on the way back, but I hope he was all right. And it was a great event. Good to see an expo. Good to see a bloody t-shirt. PRF, take notes.
Yeah, big time. That entertainment on course was good. Got us hyped up. And I think you mentioned you saw a few of the folks from the Bunbury Runners Club. So yep. Good to see them down there doing their thing, Ian and Megan. So probably a few announcements from us regarding the Bunbury Running Festival coming up soon. But yeah, looks like we might be involved again for 2026, which is exciting. Few details to be confirmed, but keep an ear out for that. There was you mentioned those fences, which are a bit of a hazard. There's a couple of things I thought I'd mention in terms of like maybe improvements for next year, because I did get a bit of feedback from people who had run the race, and I guess one of them being that section that is across the other side of the rail line, where you make a turn, like a hairpin turn across a curb, like, and then you're running down the road at that point, and there's just potholes everywhere, and that road is just garbage, and you've got vehicles coming toward you on the other side of the road, so it does cause a little bit of congestion. I mean, when at the front, it's probably not so bad, but once you've got the masses coming through there, those potholes will probably form a fairly substantial hazard for anyone who's not seen them before they get past them. People not going, like, I mean, this is not something the Marathon Club could control, but people not keeping left. I mean, I did have to use my outside voice and yell at people, and it wasn't until I was right on their shoulder that they realised, and they had headphones on. Some of them had the big, the big ones, so wouldn't have heard a thing. But no, and the other thing was probably I did hear from some people about the mayhem in the 5K. So yeah, if you're at the front end of the 5K, you are running into the back of the masses who are running the half marathon and the 10K. So a few of those front runners had to jump onto the grass or onto the curbs at some points and just play dodgeball. And I think some sentiments that the guys at Easy Double had actually on Owen's race last year. He mentioned he had to do similar things. So I think it's a constant problem, and I'm not really sure how they fix it, because creating another chute will just create another hazard and another potential potential reason for misdirection, because it is sometimes confusing on that course. So yeah, not sure what they do there, but reasonably small gripes altogether. I think it just would be good to get a couple of those things ironed out for next year if possible.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix that.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I mean, you guys were talking about Melbourne being, problematic with that merger where you have the marathon and the half merging. And this is kind of similar to that, just fewer people, but and maybe it only affects a handful of people, but it is potentially dangerous. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. Another event that we had a few people over in, so that's WA. That's the Fremantle Running Festival for us. We also had a few WA representatives going over to the Grampians Peaks Trail Miler over in Victoria. Now, last year this race was cancelled or cut short due to the weather, I believe. They had some pretty ridiculous temperatures over there, so a lot of people ended up being pulled out up to halfway through. We had our mate Shane Johnstone out there running 28 hours, 50 minutes and 43 seconds for 13th. We had Kate Timmins running 49 hours, 6 minutes, 41 seconds for 97th. And Oki Diggins ran a really impressive 27 hours, 56 minutes and 19 seconds for a top 10 finish. So that's, remarkable running from some WA people there. We had a female team, Her Trails, sixth and the only women's team coming in 32 hours, 39 minutes and 10 seconds. That consisted of Samantha Gash, Roxy Visser, Emma Mackley and Ashley Carpenter. I think there were actually a few more people from WA there, but they're the ones we've got times for. So, awesome stuff. And, I think you had a chance to catch up with Shane briefly because you had a very busy day at work today, Simon.
It's really busy. Really busy today. Yes, I was working. I spoke to Shane briefly. He said that he had a pretty good 130 Ks. I don't know how you could have a very good 130 Ks, but he did, and then was in 7th to 8th place. But then his feet got absolutely destroyed and basically came to a slow crawl for the last 30 odd. He experienced a new pain threshold for the first time, so that was great. And he just hung on to the finish. So congrats, Shane. I think he was saying that, last year was stinking hot, but this time it got so cold at the Mount William high point with the 50K winds that there was a -7 degree wind chill. So, seems like a shit race.
Yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely spectacular, to be fair.
It does.
And if you're into your trail running, it would be kind of one of the pinnacle races in Australia, at least. So, maybe if I can get this ITV sorted, anything's possible, mate. I might be there next year.
Bit of a sub 7 hour transcend, and then stepping stone to GPT.
You never know. I'll have a chat to Shane about it and see what I need to do, but to get that done for next year. But in terms of upcoming stuff, we've got the Run Bibbulmun Track Stage Run coming up on the 14th of November, starting this Friday, runs through to the 16th of November. Day one, there's a short course of 17K, a long course of 35K. Day two, we've got 24K in the short course, 33K in the long course, and then 21K on day three, followed by a 39K for the long. So, I'm not super across that, Simon, but I'm sure you're not either, Zane, given your elevation profile on your runs. But Ash, given you're the preeminent runner of elevation in this episode, any ideas? What's going on there?
No.
I feel like Sarah Paduano has done this and won it last year.
Yeah, it's something that has Sarah written all over it for sure. Just something that involves torture. Sarah will be there. So, no, good stuff. We have the Turquoise Coast Running Festival this Sunday up at Jurien Bay. There's a 2.5K, 5K, 10K, and a half marathon. I was up there last weekend. Maybe it's a beautiful part of the
camping trip.
Another camping trip. Yeah, get on the pillow in the caravan park and test the calves. There's the Big Six organised by the UWA Athletics Club on Saturday, 22nd of November. That runs from 4 till 8 p.m. Basically, WA's best milers go head to head for a 10K prize pool. There's lots of distances, but the elimination mile is the kind of key event whereby I think you have six athletes competing, and each lap an athlete gets eliminated until you end up with only the final three athletes. Am I mistaken there, or is that am I
probably
wrong? Yeah, probably not. Who could know?
I've heard that there's a Christmas market on the same night, so
so
take your family down.
So there'll be more than a sausage sizzle, so we know that's good. You might find me there. We've got the WAMC McNally Applecross Shoreline Run, aka the 3K World Champs. That's Sunday, 30th of November, down at Tompkins Park this year. Unfortunately, the Applecross Boardwalk is currently under construction or renovation works. So, which I'm not sure why, because they renovated it not that long ago. But anyhow, they've changed the location, so it's a very flat stretch around Tompkins Park basically from the jetty all the way back toward the end of Tompkins Park there towards the Bowls Club. There's a 3K, 7.5K, and a 15K. The PTS Summer Series starts on Sunday, the 7th of December, out at Wollongong National Regional Park. That's the Kwai Gong race. There's a 5.2, a 10.5, and a 15.6K as your Johnny Walker Black Series. There's, I believe, the Summer Series package, which you can sign up for all four races for a reasonable discount. That closes the 25th of November. So if you're considering that, I'd sign up shortly. I can't remember if Ortra provides a discount for this, but I'm sure that it does. So if you're not already an Ortra member, I'd sign up for $49 for the year, and you get a 10% discount on any race that you're signing up for thereafter. Simon, you've got a few things on your list for Simon Says this week. Do you want to share with the listeners and Zane and Ash?
Just quickly, what's the 3K time to beat at the McNally Applecross Shoreline Run?
Well, I only managed about 10, 15 last year. I can't remember what it was. So it wasn't impressive at all, but it was enough to get the job done, beating a bunch of 14-year-olds. So, That's all it takes sometimes. Just as long as you gas them up. Well, there's no hill this year. You can't take advantage of people on the hill.
Okay.
Yep. So it's
maybe
fast running.
Course record this year.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple of Simon says from me. So Perth Running Festival announced the 2026 date of the 11th of October. So same day as Melbourne Marathon. So I know what I'm signing up for. Apparently foundation members have an opportunity to get first dibs on entries. You get
What's
a shirt.
foundation member?
I'm not too sure. Because
the email from 2020 were they going to reschedule it?
Maybe.
Don't know.
Because I saw Ordwin, our friend Ordwin Lee got a foundation member email, and I was disappointed that I didn't get one. So, not that I'm interested, but it is.
You've been blacklisted from
possibly
3 hours of complaining.
Yeah. I did have a good chat with Simone actually at the Marathon Club, who I passed our listeners' feedback to, and she was very grateful for all of that feedback that everybody provided. It is unfortunate that the Marathon Club doesn't actually have as much control as we'd probably like over that event. So a lot of those points of feedback that were provided aren't in their control, and unfortunately, it appears as though, besides the T-shirt, not much is being listened to.
So what are we doing? Are we promoting Melbourne Marathon next year?
Maybe it's a Road to Melbourne training series next year.
Yeah, maybe it is. Speaking of very good running festivals, we've got the Bunbury Three Waters Running Festival that we're involved with for next year, and we're on the lookout for pacers. So it's looking like if you are putting your hand up to be a pacer at the event, whether it's a 3 hour, 3:30, 4 hour, or 4:30 marathon pacer, you get free entry. And I think we're looking for 2 paces each. Hopefully, it would be nice if you've had experience running marathons to be pacing the marathon at Bunbury. But look, we've featured Bunbury Running Festival before. It's an event that's close to our hearts. It's an awesome regional event. So if you are interested in pacing at the Bunbury Three Waters Running Festival, either hit us in the DMs or contact the Bunbury Runners Club to put your hand up for a spot. We've got a community run this Wednesday with the guys from the Running Centre and Brooks. Hopefully we're giving away some shoes. I think rock, paper, scissors is kind of the go-to in terms of determining a winner. So I hope to see you there. And is that official?
I think Vlad's in. Yeah, he's keen.
Okay, all right. We've got a community run with Bix. On the December 6th at 7:45 a.m. So hopefully we'll put some more details in the socials this week. All right, let's finish the episode with our weapons of warp.
All right, very good. I'm going to start with the positive ones and then get to the negative ones. So we had nominated by Simon's daughter, Miata. We actually spoke about this at length on Friday night while we were camping down in Donnybrook. Miata has her teacher, Miss Brearley Wills. She ran her first half marathon over the weekend at Freo. It didn't look like she was going to make it to the start line. She could have been sandbagging, or potentially there are bigger problems going on there, but it seems like she had to take a day off in the lead up for an injection in her knee. I'm not exactly sure what that involved, whether it's some cortisone or some EPO, but she ended up running a 2:09, and she knew she was going to be pretty cooked post-race, so she actually took a long service leave day on Monday or today. So hope you're recovering well, Briley. Obviously, Shane Johnstone, for being the legend that he is, undertaking a mammoth effort out at the Grampians Peaks Trail Race there. We also had another FKT attempt. It seems like this is the flavour of the month at the moment. We had Cam Bostock officially achieving the unsupported bib track FKT, doing it in 14 days, 7 hours and 49 minutes. it looks like Cam visited all the huts, and due to unavoidable diversions and reroutes and for various obstacles, Cam ended up doing like an extra 20k over the full track, and most of those extra kilometres came from when his pack was the heaviest of all. So unfortunately, I think part of that unsupported is that you're basically carrying all of your shit from start to finish. And so as the run is getting harder, your pack's getting lighter. So it's kind of a bit of yin and yang there. But no, congratulations, Cam, on achieving that. That's absolutely bonkers. And one of the things that's been going about our socials recently of the past week or so, and which we've really appreciated, is this official Marathon Time Integrity Unit page, which is an Instagram account protecting the integrity of the marathon, upholding chip times, and exposing Strava inflation. So despite many allegations in our DMs this week, Simon is not the moderator of that page. So for the pitchforks can be put away for now. We have noticed we have some notable weapons that we have called out on our podcast and have notified these guys, including someone who ran a 3:17 marathon at PRF, and I saw personally on the side of the road as the 3:15 pacer, but then they claim that they ran a 3:06. So unless this guy has got a fucking secret elevator to the finish line, I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, very funny stuff. Anything to add there, Simon, before I carry on to the next section?
I mean, look, I'm not the creator of the page, but I am happy to work for the official Marathon Time Integrity Unit. So I'm happy to be the WA correspondent because I love trolling and I love throwing people under the bus. So any WA mentions is most likely to come from me.
Yeah, and look, if there's any evidence to suggest that you might end up running that page, you started off messaging Matt Maguire on this Instagram account for Warp, and now you're hosting the podcast. So funny things.
Whoever's running the Instagram page, I'm happy to start the Marathon Time Integrity Unit podcast where we're just like shaming people for 90 minutes every week. I'm all for it.
Yeah. No legal troubles whatsoever.
Not at all.
In similar fashion, I just wanted to call out someone that I saw. I won't say their name, but I saw their post on Strava. They ran a GPS 5K time. They claimed as their PB. They narrowly, and they said, which is the kicker, they narrowly missed out on a sub 17 5K. But in actual fact, they finished about 23 seconds short. So, are you kidding?
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
And then finally, I just wanted to call out all the cunts running without bibs and posting it all over their socials over the weekend. These individuals have to seriously reevaluate what they bring to the running community beyond their own ego. Anyone who gives a fuck about your so-called journey and manipulated or manufactured achievements needs to be told the absolute truth. Be transparent, be honest, support the organisers of the local events, buy a bib, and maybe then we will forgive said behaviour.
Let's hope you recover from your ITB injury.
It could be a long few weeks.
Yeah.
Is this what happens when you have a rest day?
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Well, on that note, thank you, Ash, for joining us. Thank you, Zane, for joining us. Best of luck 4 points to Pinnacle this weekend. Looking forward to seeing how you recover from that event. And yeah, no, look out, all the best for your running for the rest of the year to the both of you. So thanks for joining us. You can reach us on Instagram at WARunningPod. Our email address is warunningpodcast@gmail.com, and our Strava group is Warp. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. See you later.
Been a pleasure to have you guys.
It's past your bedtime, Ash. Are we playing this? Yeah. No, it's this one. It's this one.
Have you been drinking?